Oh, what do I do with my life? You should do research, math, natural science, social science. It's too many options.
Do you want real life skills, reasoning, collaborative, creative, and presentational skills?
I want to do research. Join research now.
Hi, freshman Amanda Zhang,
I'm Sabrina.
And I'm Abigail Wu.
and today we'll talk about how to get started with research. So my personal experience with research started with the mandatory labs with biology and chemistry in the first years. I was part of the science research for both freshman and sophomore year. After that, I switched to social science research because I was more interested in the social aspect of research. I realized that science research wasn't working out for me because I had no interest in the anodes and the cathodes and researching more about bacteria. So with social science research, I was able to research more about how people behave and the relationships between people and their actions relative to something else. I stayed with social science research for my junior and my senior year, and I did struggle with finding a specific topic that interested me for some time, but eventually we'll find something of interest, even if it might take some time. I say look for a topic that interests you and research more in depth about it. You'll eventually form a question the more you research.
Hey, so similar to Amanda, I also started with the mandatory research and labs with bio and chem. And then I started social science in 10th grade, and then advanced social science in 11th grade, and now advanced research class. And so I was always interested in the social sciences, especially just due to the nature of my activism work. So just for context, after the standard 9th grade research class, you can enroll in specific areas of research in 10th grade, like the natural sciences, social science, and math. And as for some tips on how to get started, I can understand that it can be very daunting to find a topic. So what I found most helpful was really reading a bunch of articles and annotating them, doing background literature review is super helpful. And as you read, particularly note the gaps in understanding the research you're annotating, because those are all really opportunities for research for you. For example, for my COVID research and reproductive healthcare research, I read a lot of current event articles and collected statistics I thought will be helpful in the future. So just have that foresight, especially for you social science people with very controversial and timely topics.
Hi, so personally, I think that in comparison to Amanda and Sabrina's, my experience with research wasn't all that traditional. I wasn't in the research program in 9th grade, so I went into freshman research as a sophomore. And of course, back then, I guess the required classes, the class structure was more assignment and lesson based. But I personally just wanted to get to the point where I could conduct research about something that was actually interesting and important to me instead of just completing assignments on that the teacher gives us. And quickly, I realized that science research wasn't for me, much like Amanda, and proceeded to spend way too long on my social science end of the year paper, which was on moral relativism. After that year, I skipped 10th grade research and jumped to advanced 11, mostly to just be in a class with people in my grade. But anyways, I spent a large chunk of 11th grade very adamantly trying to initiate a project on OCD and mental health until I finally realized it wasn't feasible just within the confines of a high school setting. So it wasn't a feasible project to take on. So I shifted my focus back to philosophy and continued and built on the project that I basically started or got the idea for back in my first year of research with that long end of the year paper. Yeah, that's it.
And the important idea to essentially take away from this is to find a subject that you are interested in, whether it be like a really hard science, such as STEM, math, social science, or any other area you may be interested in. After you pick a general area, narrow down a topic that really interests you. It doesn't have to be specific at first, can be really general. And after that, you can narrow it down even further to have a specific question after you that you formed after researching more about your topic.
Yeah, so another piece of advice I give in general, and especially relating to how to get started, would be if you're looking for a mentor, for example, to reach out earlier on in the process. And so once you have a good idea of the topic of interest or the research question you want to answer, you should start researching the various like departments of universities online and see what professors' bios are of interest to you and reach out to them through their university emails. Um, and I know you will definitely have assignments in research, like how to write a resume, and biography, and how to email mentors. So if you have any worries about that, don't worry, your teachers will help you. And or if you're doing a special summer program or research work at an institution, again, just plan ahead with those applications. And if you have any questions at all, don't be scared to reach out to your research teachers and Miss Aid.
Yeah, so for me, generally, I think I'd say to just try to get ahead. It's something I didn't really do. Sabrina did mention like planning out your applications and how when you're gonna do things, so definitely do that. But yeah, so being ahead in the project process helps to alleviate a lot of pressure that comes with having a time crunch, especially at the beginning of senior year when things are starting to be due when you're preparing for like for SDS and other competitions. But in addition to that, one thing I'd say is to try to balance things out, and you don't always want to you don't want to let wanting to be prepared or ahead get in the way of just simply remembering that you're just researching something that you're interested in. So don't let the formality or the process of it all like dampen what you started out with.
Yeah, so just to to end this up, good luck to everyone, and remember that you really have amazing, very cool, supportive research teachers and faculty that are there for you along the way, as well as research peers. So don't be afraid to ask questions, reach out for help, and we all wish you good luck.
What do I do with my life? Research! Better I can't do